You know, Time magazine is such a stupid ass magazine. When they do Person of the Year, and of course, I think it was old Donald Trump once again got Person of the Year, and you know he's almost a non-entity. It's a mess because all the attention's been put on that madman from South Africa, Elon Musk, or Elon Musk, as some people call him, or I call him Pepe Le Pew. But you know, people that really deserve the title, well, sometimes they get the title like Hitler. You know, not because they're especially noble or they've done things in the world. Not that. Sometimes it's the person that made the most news, like Hitler did back during the war years, one of the war years. But usually it's somebody it's a positive influence. And to me, this woman, Gisele Pelicot, who was the woman who was drugged by her husband and raped by at least 50 men, it's probably way more than that, but over a period of years. Well, he filmed it, and if it hadn't been on film, he would have gotten away with it, but he ended up going to prison, or he's going to prison for it, or he is in prison. But some of these guys that were involved in that, they've appealed the guilty verdict, but every damn one of them ought to rot in prison. What in the hell? What in the damn hell? You know, that husband of hers, what was his name? Dominique? I think it is. But anyway, he was the most depraved individual since Joseph Fritzl. And you remember Joseph Fritzl. Somehow that damn man is going to live forever. He's like 89 years old. And supposedly his health is really bad. But, you know, they don't have a death penalty anyway in those countries. And as long as he's never back out on the streets, you know, he can stay locked away. But what he did was so stinking beyond the pale. It horrified the world. But this guy, this Pelicot guy, gave Joseph Fritzl a run for his money. I mean, this points to the depravity of so many men. This points to pornography and its absolutely horrible effects on men towards women. And there's no denying it. It points to how absolutely fucked up our world is, okay? And I was horrified that this poor woman went through what she did and never knew what the hell they did, but it was all on film. So that's how they were able to press charges. Anyway, this poll named her France's Personality of the Year in a French opinion poll. And you know, France, when it comes to sex, and I've talked about this in previous videos, they're very screwed up on sexuality. They're progressive in a lot of ways, but they're very fucked up when it comes to that. And anyway, she beat out a list of world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukraine's Zelensky, with 38% of respondents saying she had affected them the most over the past 12 months in a poll by the Adoxa Institute for French Regional Newspapers. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump came in second with 37%, followed by Zelensky with 28%. I don't know what that means, if that's good or bad. It might be like Time Person of the Year. But her personality, Pelicot's personality and her dignity was noted, but also the horror to which she was subjected have made an impact upon French people. It should make an impact on women and men all over the world, because this is not okay. And I was shocked one time reading about some goddamn, I don't know if it was a survey or what, or a poll or what, where husbands were having sex with their wives while the wives were asleep or drugged. What the hell? That's what Bill Cosby did when he raped all those women and was accused of it. That's what he'd do. He'd ply them with drugs. The only thing that got him, saved his ass, none of that shit was filmed. But we know that he did that. I'd heard that years ago when he was, long before any of these allegations came to light. I'd heard he'd done that. And, but he wasn't the only one. And they're just so many screwed up men that think that women have a right, that men think they have a right to women. That goes with the surrogacy on reproduction. It goes with pornography. It's the attitude of prostitution, all of that shit. The attitude with marriage, which is honestly a form of prostitution. All this kind of stuff they think they're owed. So anyway, Pelicot became a household name in France and much of the world this year after waiving her right to be anonymous. And that took guts. In the trial of her ex-husband, Dominique Pelicot, and 50 other men accused of raping her over a decade-long period. Dominique Pelicot and all but one of his co-defendants were convicted of sexual assault in December in a trial that shocked France. Dominique Pelicot said he would not appeal his sentence of 20 years for drugging and raping his ex-wife and recruiting other men to participate. Gisele Pelicot demanded that evidence of her ex-husband's crimes, including homemade videos of her rape, be heard in open court in order to change sides from the victim to the rapist. Fucking men. It's always men's responsibility. You know, it's not women's to control them. That's all falls on men. And these guys should have been locked up for a lot longer. She said, I wanted all of society to be a witness to the debates that took place here. I never regretted making this decision, she said, after the court ruled her ex-husband was guilty. I have trust in our capacity to collectively project ourselves toward a future where all, women and men, can live in harmony. That may never happen. With respect and mutual understanding, Gisele Pelicot added. And anyway, it made headlines all over the world. I won't read further, but these guys deserve shame. And any man that pulls this shit deserves shame. But really, you know, women take a hell of a risk when they partner with men. And especially younger women. That's why a lot of them are going quote-unquote 4B. They're just saying to hell with them. Because they're just not... Women aren't putting up with this shit anymore. But this woman deserved Person of the Year. She should have been Times Person of the Year. So I wanted to note that. I was wanting to talk about her, and I didn't. But I'm glad that she's got a lot of support in this world. She needs it. And anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that.